Okay, first thing, front rack. We're just gonna mess with the front rack. So we'll pick up the bar slightly outside the thighs. And then you want to get bar above the clavicles and the elbows straight forward. Just see where you're at. Oh, that's pretty good. Ideally, you'll be able to pull your chest kind of down and then lift the elbows up at the same time too. And then keep your chin up, and then you can squat from that position. So then if it's ever bothering you, you can just press it overhead. Okay, right behind you. Try to pull the ribs down. There we go. Then bring it down and try to have it land above the collarbone. And then the elbows come up, ribs go down. So you're always trying to stretch the lats out, which might be tough for you. Okay, so that's gonna be the front rack position. Then let's get your feet squat width apart and we'll practice front. I just wanna see you front squat. Tons of mobility. This is gonna be real easy, at least from that standpoint, so that you can put the bar down. Hardest things for stronger lifters or people who are inexperienced in the lifts in general is controlling the bar in the turnover. So a lot of times it sails up. It'll go like above your chin, and you always want to keep that bar in a tight position, and then it gets right up above the collarbones and lands. So this one's just a muscle clean, but what you're going to do is you're going to think like you would do like a bodybuilder high pull and just stop right there. Good. Okay. And then you're going to rotate through and land right on the collarbone. So try to get as snug as you can when you pause and go through. Good. One more. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just do like kind of a no foot version of that, but we're going to squat. So you're going to pull up to here, and then you're going to try and squat while your elbows rotate underneath. Okay. We don't have to pause so pronounced, just nice and easy. So what I don't want is you to start going like that right now. Arms, elbows, right into the squat. Good. Okay. So now we're going to start to drop underneath. Okay. If you're not tired, we'll just keep the bar in your hands. So you're going to pull up and drop underneath into a squat. Go. Yeah. You can feel how difficult it is to get through. Good. Okay, relax. So that's going to come in handy once we start doing the full lift. Now I just want to establish contact on the thigh. We can just call this contact drill, but essentially what we're going to do is end up having that striking against the mid quads be what leads you into that drill that you just did. Okay. Generally, we'll bend the knees and kind of keep the chest over the top of the bar. Okay. You don't really ever want to be back like this, sitting behind the bar. So you'll be right here, contact, right? We can kind of start light. And then we can add in that high pull. Okay. Eventually, you'll just be here. Okay. Yeah, just let the arms relax, so it's going to naturally be away. And you're going to think, the bar will come in and go up, so boom. Yeah. And now you can try to snap the knees open, right? So they're bent, pressure's forward. Yeah, that was it. Beautiful. Good, and relax. So now we're going to try to add in the catch. Okay. You snapped them open, that was good. Okay. A lot of times people are going to think, oh, snap my knees open. They're going to bring their hips into the bar. Okay. Shoulders go, if the hips go forward, shoulders go back. Yeah. So you want to always be on top, snapping them open like that. Okay. This deadlift is the opposite, right? Yeah. Yeah. So that is always a tricky one with powerlifters for sure. Okay, so let's do 2 high pulls. 1, 2, and then go. There we go. Okay, contact catch. It can be like boom, boom. It doesn't have to be contact, weight, then drop. I know we were practicing that kind of stop. You can just kind of meet the bar. So it'll be like, okay. Yeah, there we go. So for you, it's mobility right here, because you're catching kind of your elbows with the elbows down. Okay. Now we're going to do basically the full movement. So we've been doing stuff from here, from above the knee. When you go down below the knee, I don't want you to shift everything back into the heels. Okay. What you want to keep is keep that kind of lean forward. Keep the pressure in the toes down. Okay. Because the movement doesn't finish when we get here.
Yeah.
We have to be able to put the most possible force in here. If we're back and the weight is off our toes when the bar's here, we have to be able to put pressure back into our toes. So we have this displacement of force when that force should be going up. So it helps to have the toes already down. The final one, I'll kind of guide you through. We'll go down to below the knee. It's going to be a hang.
Okay.
And you're going to go contact and catch. Okay? The slower, the more controlled everything is, probably the better. The only fast parts that you need to work on are contact to catch.
Okay.
Everything else is a lot more deliberate. I'll kind of do it alongside you. First drill, here and through. Good. Okay. Now we're going to go move the feet. So we're going to go bar stops here, move the feet and catch. Good. Okay. Now we'll do that contact drill to high pull. So you're just going to establish the contact and get the bar going. We're not going to turn over. Good. Now let's turn over. So we're going to turn over and catch. So it's here. Good. One more of those. Good. Okay. Now, with that in your mind, nice and slow with me, go down right below the knees, contact and catch. Did you miss the thigh? Okay. Slow it down so that you get that. Let's try one more. Not bad. Let's go a little bit wider with your grip. Let's go for that mid shin. I'm going to try to set you in the right position here. Okay, we're going to go a little bit over. There we go. Yeah, see how much easier it is to make? So it helps to kind of hedge yourself over the top of the bar.
Okay.
Because then when you have leverage, and again, this is so opposite to deadlift.
Yes, it is.
Like deadlift, you want to be back.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah, it's totally the opposite. But that last rep was good. All I did was kind of make you lean forward. Okay? Essentially, this is the height that you just hit.
Okay.
So you did just do this
From there.
What I want to do now is we're going to get the bar in the hands. You're going to take a breath in, and you're going to do the same drill, except you're going to know that you're at the right spot because the plates are going to touch. So it's going to be touch and go this time.
Okay.
So I'll show you what I'm looking for. We'll take a breath in. Nice and slow, trying to get the shoulders forward. Touch. Okay. Stand up first. Okay. Breath in. Nice and slow. Okay. Relax, relax. You were too fast on the second portion of the lift when the plates hit the ground. You basically hit the ground and you're like, let's go, turn over. You can go very slow.
Okay.
With beginners, it's important to know that the tempo off the floor, the tempo to start the movement needs to be separate than the tempo of the explosion.
Okay.
So when you touch the floor, just touch nice and like there's glass plates on the floor and you don't want to break them. Nice and slow, tap, nice and slow, up, explode.
Okay.
Because then you can get that contact in the thighs.
Got it.
Okay? Yeah, I like that grip better.
Oops.
That's okay. Just start from the standing position. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Stand all the way up. Legs locked, hips locked. There we go, right there. Big breath in. Nice and slow down and nice and slow up. Off the thighs. Okay. So, relax, relax. If we basically did that contact drill into the next drill, into the next, you would establish that contact again. Because for you, you're just missing that entirely. Okay, so let's do that. We're gonna stand up here, and we're just gonna kind of make contact and drop.
Okay.
Even with the weights that we have on the bar, but we're gonna establish a contact on the thigh. Yeah. Yeah, go for it. Move the feet. Good. So you remember the how it sails? That's, again, going to be a big factor. It's just learning how to turn over. Okay? Nice. Good. Relax. That's the top half of the pull. We have to try to connect those two. That's it. Okay, so we'll go back to the touch and go. Stand right here. Nice and slow on the way down. Tap, up, pop. Go. Like visualize that spot. Like we want to hit right here.
Yeah.
Think about getting the hands into you. There we go, a little bit better. The bar is sailing on you a little bit.
Yeah.
So one thing we can try doing now is maybe going off the hips. That might work for you. Might be overall more effective. This is an adjustment. Again, this is like there are a substantial amount of good cleaners that go off the hip. I think actually a lot of women end up going off the hip as well. So it might be something for you if you're doing this for a competition, for a cleanage or a competition. It might help a lot.
Okay.
It also helps with control over the bar after contact.
Okay.
So what you're going to do now is grab the bar a little bit wider. The way that you'll make contact is you can actually, when you're about to make contact with the hip, you can take your knuckles and kind of pull them underneath on contact.
Okay.
And it's a little bit shaky to try and hit that area,
Yeah.
but we can do the same, almost the same thing. Yeah. Try going below the knees, same spot. That was good. So we'll go bar in the hands, just below the knees. The plates don't have to touch the floor, but I want you to make that contact. That wasn't bad. Go below the knees this time. Slow. Good. Yeah, so it's the turnover.
Yeah.
I think the blocks is going to be perfect for you. I don't want to waste effort on setting up the first pull. We can address that in a little bit.
Okay.
I want you to get reps, more and more reps going from that position so you can get used to that turnover like I talked about. I swear the biggest problem everyone faces is the bar sailing on them,
Yeah.
just not having that control. One thing, when you start pulling from the floor with dead weight, it's not in your hands,
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot harder because the posture that you need, it's harder to get into that posture from down here than it is to set up here and go down. It's kind of like a squat, right? What I like to think about doing is you can kind of mimic the way that you just did that top-down touch and go, just going to grab the bar. Set yourself up so that you're in that position. You might have to look, see where your hands are, but then you're here. Then what you want to do is with your eyes forward, take a breath in and pull from right there.
Okay.
And again, we're going to go really slow, contact and catch.
Okay.
This is just so you can learn to go from the floor, but you need more turnover reps.
Yeah.
Okay? Remember, picking the bar up off the floor, so you're going to use your legs to do it, and it's going to be very slow. And then when you want to turn it around, you got to make that contact.
Okay.
Okay? Nice and slow, and then not bad. That's pretty good. Yep. A lot of times, we have two options because if you pull with that weight forward like that, the bar has to float away from you.
Yeah.
You would never do that in the deadlift.
Correct.
Because look at where my hands are when they relax. That's not where I want the bar. I want the bar into me.
Yeah.
So naturally, when we set up here, something has to happen. You have to be able to pull the bar into you. Or what ends up happening is people end up pushing their hips into the bar, and they can run into some problems.
Okay.
So as you're going, that actually might help you a lot. And what I want you to think is that bar is going to feel like it's going away from you. I want you to use your back to keep it in. Okay, so yep. Do you feel it light up?
Yeah.
You'll lean forward and the bar wants to cast away from you, but don't let it. Yes. That might help you make better contact. Okay? So relax. So that's what I want you to do. We're going to do a hang rep. So it'll be like hang, but we want to get past the knees.
Okay.
So don't cut it short.
Okay.
So like I said, if I let my arms loose and I start leaning and pinning my toes down, that's where the bar is naturally going to be. So what I want to think is I'm using my back to keep it in. and then I get that really, really fast and tight response.
Okay.
I think that's what you're missing. Good, use your back. Yeah, yes. Much better, much better. I want you to pull from the floor, just nice and deliberate, nice and slow, and make one explosion off the quads and catch, okay? There we go. That was it. That was really good.
Load it up.
That was really good. So for you, it's just working the contact and turnover without having to do this drill. Because sometimes I think you can get really good at the contact drill, but then learning how to transfer that from coming this way is really difficult. So hopefully we can do that with this. Nice and easy, and then pop. Okay, wait, stand. This, it's gotta be there.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's something that is tough. It feels like it's almost choking you,
It
you know?
doesn't feel like it's choking, it's just on the bones.
Because if you roll it from down to on top of them, you're always gonna have issues with the elbows being low. So it'd be hard to catch a clean like that. It's always better to have it high so that you can get through.
Okay.
Elbows can get through. Because if your elbows are high, it's never going to dump out in front.
Yeah.
You're never going to be in danger of the elbow touching the knee
Okay.
and hurting your wrist.
Got it.
Okay, let's try again. It's still, it's like you're catching it on your delts, you know, like front delts. It takes a lot of work to get it in here. And I think it's also just being comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Okay? I just want you to really get that contact. So even though it's up higher, like you got to think boom, boom. It has to, you know, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Like you have to get that position before you get here.
Okay.
You can't skip from that. Okay? There we go. And every time you finish at the top, I want you to think elbows up.
Okay.
Okay? Elbows, 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 stay. Yeah. Okay. Good. That's it. So you're going to go left foot forward, standing with your feet together. We'll take your back foot, whichever one that is for you. It's going to be your right. And we're going to take your heel and pull it out and then go kind of back like this. The more and more you get used to the heel being out, the better off it's going to be. You want your back heel out and then your front heel out as well. Slight more of a bend in the knee here. But again, you're going to get stretched out in the hip flexor, or that right hip flexor you're going to, but we'll let the front leg dictate that. There we go. And again, that front toe is in. So this is somewhat of a deep, it feels like a deep lunge. Yeah. But the reason why this is important is this knee is likely going to be in front of the heel, and that's when everything starts to break down. When you have your back knee back, either in line with the heel or behind the heel, that's when you get the most stable position.
Okay.
So just feeling that without any weight and like getting used to it is like actually pretty important. So when you catch, let's say you've caught it, it's always going to be front foot back, step back a little bit, and then together. Yeah. You're almost thinking of doing this front one to like just unlock it. It's kind of like, you'll see people will catch, but it's always that position. Overhead position, this is a very difficult thing to do. Keep the rib cage neutral and reach the arms overhead. And that's where like benching and, you know, constantly having different positions might get into trouble. So what I want you to focus on is just being in that position and just raise your arms overhead. Okay? And then we're going to try not to flare the rib cage so much, and then watch out for that front knee. Where do we want the front knee? Yeah. So actually we can go back out here and back. So your whole body weight's got to shift back a little bit more. So we have to be able to support that weight overhead, and a lot of times people lack mobility to get it back behind them. Okay? So then step, step, 1, 2. Okay? All right, sweet. Ready? And right foot, and go. And recover, so it's boom, boom. Okay? Now we want to do it a little bit faster, so it'll be boom, boom. So it will be like, I'll say go, and you'll go step, step. Okay, ready? And go. Step, step. Think about the heel hitting first. Step, step. There we go. Not bad. Okay, now we can kind of like add a little bit of a jump into it. We can get like 1, 2. Yeah? Okay, one more time. Boom, good. Always landing with that back foot first. Okay, and then always recovering with the front foot first. Okay, hands in the front rack position. Wrap the thumbs around. Every time the front foot lands is when the hands will shoot up. So we'll go back foot and just hang. Then we're going to go step and hold. There we go. And then how do we recover? Step, step. Good. Always pushing off of that back foot first. Right foot and good. Step, step. Bring it back down. Step, step. There we go. So everything's kind of pulling out front like this on you. Really keep the bar going straight up, right? Everything, like even when you recover, you kind of want to come forward. It's got to be balanced back and front. Okay? All right. So we'll be here, dip, and I still get that 1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay? So the dip, yep. Not bad. Good. Good. Now, as soon as you drive up, we'll lock the bar. Okay. So we don't have to wait anymore. So it'll literally be like up. There you go. Okay. Let's try with the barbell because I think it'll actually be easier with weight. Okay. So what I want you to do is actually just get used to having the bar overhead. So let's press. Go ahead, press. Yeah, that's actually a great position. Okay, we're going to now bring it back down. Okay, do you remember where those feet go?
Yeah.
You want to go for it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do chin a little bit higher.
Okay.
And you can think like almost like looking down your nose.
Okay.
Good. Elbows a little bit out. Yeah, they don't have to be. Yeah, good. Okay, nice and easy dip, up and split. Good. Step, step. So you went with that bar, you went straight out. Because your chin is up, you can come right straight up. So yeah, so the chin, again, look down the nose. That's always a good one. Much better. Step, step. Good. A lot of times is when people go from here to overhead, everything's going forward. Yeah. Especially because they have to bring their foot forward. You still want to stay in this line right here. Okay. So it's instead of kind of, let's try one more. Then we're going to add weight and we're going to do a full lift. That one went forward. You can almost think of like getting it back into you. Okay. Yep. There, much better. You see how it like stabilizes? Yeah. Now we're just going to put the pieces together. Make sure you're tight and make sure you get contact. Okay. Then when you stand up, get everything set and like we can take our time in between the clean and the jerk just to make sure that we're doing it. You don't have to rush between the two movements. Okay. It's relatively light for you. Remember, nice and slow and we make contact. Beautiful. Stand up. Remember, chin up. There we go. Step, step. And drop the bar.
That's one thing I'm going to have trouble with. Yeah. We're not allowed to drop the bar.
That was actually one of your better cleans too. Okay. This is going to help a lot. It's not like you don't want to go like this. Yeah. Right? I always think your eyesight, you can look down your nose at something in front of you. So for you, it'd be like Chad's car, right? You would look down your nose at that, and then as you dip, you try not to compromise at all. Okay. If you dip and you start coming like this, then you can start pushing things out, right? You want to just dip and go right back where you came from, straight up and down. Okay? So one thing when you set up, you can take your knuckles and just point them down a little bit. Okay. Yep. Press the toes down. There it is. Chin up. Good. Contact and elbows through. That's the most important. Sitting real low. You rushed that off the floor too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you hit your knees.
I really start to think, like, where does it need to pop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice and easy off the floor. Remember, this is like, you can deadlift a lot more than this, a lot more. So just nice and slow so that you can make that distinguishable tempo change. Nice and easy off the floor. Make that contact.
This is the worst one.
Elbows up. Yeah, let's. No, we got to switch to powers. Again, like Chad was saying, it's just not worth trying to. Yeah. You're getting the bar up super high.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, I have to drop under, and then you're not. Yeah.
Protect the clavicle.
If we go any heavier, it starts getting dangerous when you catch vertically like that.
Yeah.
You want to switch to power, like, and just try to do the same weight, see what happens. You would basically, you still really want to make sure you get contact.
Okay.
You're just going to think you're stopping the bar, right? You're just here. It's like a big extension, and you're going to catch, and this is it.
Okay.
That's like the only real difference. So make sure you get contact, and you're still going slow off the floor. Okay, that's not what we want. Relax, relax. Again, the same things off the floor remain true. Nice and slow, and then you gotta boom off the thighs. That has to happen. Nice and slow, so you'll take your breath in.
Okay.
Nice and slow. There you go. Steps. Good. Get nice and tight and slow off the floor. There you go. That's good. When you grab the bar, make sure you take like a discernible breath and set and then go. All right, let's do it. There we go. Step, step. Nice. See how you hit your left knee? Yeah, it's just because you kind of like yanked it. But so for you, literally the only thing to work off is pulling with under control off the floor and making discernible contact with the quad, because that'll come into play when it starts getting much heavier than this.